Good afternoon, Josh here with Elements Sports. I'd like to welcome you to our newest video series, What the Shop Guys Ride. Several of us are getting new bikes this season, and so we thought we'd like to share with you what we got and why we got it, and you can get a feel for what the guys are riding when you come in. So first up is Benji and his new orange 327. So we're going to show you a little bit about the bike and let Benji tell you about what he was interested in doing and why he got this particular bike. Orange is a brand that we picked up in the last year and a half. They offer some great bikes out of England, all handmade there in England, made out of aluminum, very heavy duty, mostly mountain bikes, and their stuff is really nice. So if you're interested in one, we can get you set up. So Benji, what interests you about the Orange 327? Why did you go for this bike?
Yeah, so this is their full-on downhill rig, and I got this for park days and shuttling laps, just to have a huge bike that can take a lot of heavy impacts and just rail through rock gardens and all sorts of chunky, techy stuff.
Cool. How much travel does it have?
So it's got 200 front and 200 rear.
All right, so good, a full 8 inches, so I'll take the biggest of hits. Let's talk about some of your component choices. It looks like you went with RockShox suspension. Tell us a little bit about the suspension if you can.
Yeah, so the bike frame comes with a RockShox coil fork, and so the coil is a lot more supple than air, so it's going to be really fast through rock gardens and stuff that needs to be really sensitive and take a lot of impacts as well. The RockShox boxer up front is air, and that fork's just a good all-around fork for doing downhill. And then that's pretty much it as far as suspension goes right now.
All right, and let's look at your wheels here. Let me bring you to zoom in on the bike here. He's got some wheels here, custom made, built on Hope Pro 4 DH hubs on what's the rims here you got?
So I have the Stans Flow Mark IVs. They're aluminum rims, but they're really tough and durable for all sorts of downhill or enduro riding.
Cool. Talk about the drivetrain a little bit. You're using a little bit different than standard drivetrain here. It's not your Shimano or SRAM stuff that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, so I got a TRP's 7-speed downhill drivetrain. Now it's pretty similar to SRAM's downhill drivetrain, where it's a 7-speed drivetrain with 11-speed spacing, and that just lets it shift a little more smoothly and have the cogs closer together. The reason it's 7-speed is because since it's so downhill oriented, you're not climbing or anything, you don't need that much range. It's kind of like a glorified single speed, and then with this, with the gears all being close together, it makes it so that if you take a really heavy impact and you slip a gear or something, it doesn't change too much.
Cool. We got a shot there of the derailleur, shifter up here. So it's a push shifter, kind of like SRAM. Let's see, the brakes that you're using are also not standard. They're you don't find these on every bike. TRPs. Tell us a little about these TRP brakes.
Yeah, so I got the TRP brakes to match the drivetrain. They're the DHR Evos, so they're their downhill oriented brakes, and they have a lot of stopping power as well as really good modulation. A bit more modulation than Shimano does, so you can control your speed a bit better, but it has a lot of stopping power.
Awesome. So we've introduced Benji and his bike. He hasn't got a chance to ride it yet. It's a brand new build, and hopefully he'll get out here soon when the weather clears, and he'll be able to put it through its paces. Thanks for joining us. We have all the elements for your next great adventure. Stop in and see us. Get out, have fun.